Hello and welcome to my weekly video blog, and today on A.Vogel Talks Menopause I'm going to be talking about 5 surprising menopause food symptoms. Now if you like my tips and advice, please subscribe and remember to hit the bell icon so you can be notified of all my new videos. Problem with the menopause is all sorts of things can change, and that can include our taste and the way our digestive system reacts to food. So today I'm going to look at some symptoms that you might not necessarily have connected to the menopause and can sometimes be quite surprising. So number one is your food can taste different. You can have sort of certain preferences, but you might find that food that you really used to love, now you find that you just can't stand the taste of it. You might find that certain smells put you off food now. You might find that your appetite tends to change or even sort of decrease. The falling estrogen can affect the mucous membranes in the mouth, so that can affect your taste buds directly, so that your sense and taste of things like sweetness and salt and sour can alter, and that means that the taste of very specific foods can be completely different to what you've been used to. You might find you start to get a metallic taste in the mouth, and this can very often indicate that you're low in zinc. Zinc is a very important mineral during the menopause, and obviously as our nutritional needs increase, if you're low in zinc, that can have a direct effect on your taste and also your smell. If you find that your smell has decreased, you can't smell as much as you used to, then again that particular combination might mean that you need to take something like a zinc supplement on a daily basis. Falling estrogen can also make the mouth drier, so you're not producing enough saliva. This can make it more difficult to eat certain foods, but again, the dryness will affect the taste. If this is the case, then you can look at a supplement called sea buckthorn oil, which is really good for dryness of the mucous membranes anywhere in the body. Second reason is that you might just find that you've suddenly gone off certain foods that might have been foods that you've generally loved and really enjoy. Again, the taste, it might just actually make you feel sick and nauseous. A lot of women too feel that they get sick during the menopause. It's a bit like pregnancy. You can get sort of morning sickness. And that in itself can cause problems with your appetite. You might find that you just can't face eating because every time you have something to eat, you start to feel the nausea rising. In this situation, nausea very often tends to indicate that your liver's a bit under pressure. I've done a couple of articles on liver health and what you can do to support your liver, so please do have a look if you think this might be it for yourself. Taking a couple of cups of ginger tea on a daily basis might be very helpful. Maybe have just a small cup, maybe about half an hour before you sit down to eat, just to help to calm the nervous system and your digestive system down before you sit down to have anything here. You can also look at milk thistle. This is a nice combination of herbs that can help to support and improve the liver. Number 3 is you can find that certain foods now will start to upset you. You might find that after eating certain foods you end up getting itchy skin. You might find that you start to get serious indigestion or heartburn, or you might find that generally you tend to bloat up a lot more than you used to, and very often the bloating will occur at night just because of all the food that you've been eating during the day. And a lot of women tell me that, you know, they get up in the morning, they can do their jeans up, but by the time night time comes, there's such a lot of pressure around the lower abdominal area. Very often in the menopause you can become slightly intolerant to carbohydrates, so this would be things like your bread, your pasta, maybe white rice as well, and breakfast cereals. So maybe in this case it's a good idea, especially if you're getting the bloating and a lot of sort of indigestion and wind, is just to maybe have a food diary and to write everything down for a week that you're eating. That will be a good indication and can show you if you're consuming an awful lot of carbohydrate foods. You know, if you think about it, you might have cereal for breakfast, you might have a biscuit mid-morning, you might have a sandwich for your lunchtime, and then you have pasta for dinner. That's basically carbohydrate overload, and that can be enough to cause a lot of food sensitivities. It can get quite serious too. If you end up having a gluten intolerance, then that means your sort of wheat, your oats, your rye, and your barley as well. All these foods can be a potential problem for your digestive tract. Number 4 is food cravings. This is such an important one, and if our cravings get really out of hand, then that can contribute to weight gain. The problem here is it's not just about not having enough self-control, and so many women are beating themselves up about this because their sugar cravings, their carbohydrate cravings, and sometimes salt cravings get completely out of hand. You know, it's not just one biscuit, suddenly you realize the whole packet's gone or the whole box of chocolates have gone. Your blood sugar control becomes much more erratic as you go through the menopause, so you can get very quick dips. And all that's happening here is your body is going into survival mode. It thinks there's a serious famine going on when your blood sugars dip too low, and that will make you crave sweet things to get your blood sugar back in control. So this is not about being weak-willed or not having enough self-control here. You are fighting your body's own natural instinct to survive. So this is a very, very real situation. If you're getting serious cravings, then one of the best things to do is to try and go on a low-carb diet. The less carbs you have, the less your body will crave them, because it's the carbohydrates and sugars that are making your blood sugar levels go up and down. So if you can go to a low carb diet, make sure that you're getting enough protein with every meal, make sure you're getting healthy fats. They are one of the best things to stabilize your blood sugar levels. And I know a lot of women start to panic and think, oh, if I eat fat, it's going to make me fat. It's the over-consumption of carbohydrates in the menopause that very often contributes to weight gain. And healthy fats, a small amount on a daily basis, can be a great thing to keep everything well under control. If you are getting a really serious salt craving, very often that can indicate something called adrenal fatigue. This is where your nervous system has just got completely overwhelmed. Usually this will be accompanied by severe panic attacks, really, really poor sleeping, things like palpitations as well. This is something you need to work hard at. The best thing to do is to maybe Google adrenal fatigue and natural ways of fixing it, because you need quite a lengthy, complex process to get this back under control. But again, it can make a huge amount of difference. Research also shows that if you're craving salt, it could mean that you're low in other minerals such as magnesium, calcium, and potassium. Really common in the menopause. If your nutritional needs are going up, you need more of everything. So in this case, you might find that our balanced mineral drink can be really helpful, because this contains a nice little shot of calcium, magnesium, and potassium, just to help to keep everything well under control here. If you find the cravings are emotionally linked, if you find that when you get extra upset, if you get really stressed, you tend to reach for the chocolate biscuits or the wine or lots of chocolate, we've also got our lovely craving essence, which can help with the emotional side of the cravings. Number 5 is food triggers. Certain foods can trigger certain menopause symptoms. We know that caffeine can very quickly trigger headaches, can trigger palpitations, and can trigger flushes and sweats. high sugar consumption, so that sticky bun or donut mid-morning, can be enough to trigger these symptoms as well. So if you find that you're getting symptoms of, say, hot flushes at roughly the same time every day, or headaches at roughly the same time every day, then very often there is a connection to the food that you've been eating, and it tends to be maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 hours in the past where you've taken the food. It will have that effect on your body. So again, a little bit of a food diary can make a huge amount of difference, and once you know if it is something that's causing your symptoms, you're going to be much more in control at helping to keep those at bay. So I hope you found this one interesting. Certainly some unusual things that pop up during the menopause. If any of you have had any strange food or dietary or taste issues, then please let us know. And if any of you have managed to sort your cravings with anything in particular, again, we would really love to hear that. And in the meantime, I will see you next week for another edition of A.Vogel Talks Menopause.